I'm going to take you in this 10-minute lecture from a complete beginner to the top 1% of people that are training, right? So I really want you to pay attention, really take this seriously. I cannot comprehend how important this stuff is. For those that are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Paul Green. I've got about 15 years of training experience. However, 10 of that I've been training elite paratroopers, Royal Marines and other Special Forces operators in the UK when I was in the Army. How the hell do I take you from complete beginner to the top 1%? I'm going to do it with a lecture. The information's that important. I need to bring up some slides. So I'm going to use that and I'm going to make sure I mention absolutely everything on these slides. So in this lecture, I'm going to cover how you, as a complete beginner, can navigate the abundance of shite that is in the industry at the moment, right? Because a lot of it is keeping you stuck and a lot of it is keeping you, looking and searching for the next thing that keeps you excited. And that is horrendous for you. So next thing I want to cover is how you can navigate training for feeling good versus training for a specific result. And more importantly, how you can completely simplify absolutely everything that you encounter to keep getting results, right? So the first thing you need to ask yourself, and you'll probably hear me say this is the most important thing many times on this lecture, because genuinely everything that I've written in these slides are absolute gold. The first thing you need to do is ask yourself, what is your current ultimate physical goal for the next 12 months? You could walk into any gym in the world and most people will not even be able to answer that question, even though they're in a gym. So most men that lift do not even have that level of clarity, right? So by even going through that process and writing down your answer, you're going to be ahead of most people straight away from a clarity point of view. Your plan that follows that will then align you to that ultimate physical mission. So without that level of clarity, you can never avoid the bullshit. Simple as that. Okay, understanding what is unproductive noise. Your life from this point forward, after you have written down that physical mission, is a never-ending battle of avoiding stuff that is not productive, right? So you've got the current version of you, and you've got cool social media exercises that look great, that are placed in front of you because you like watching that stuff, and you think, oh, that looks like it feels good, that looks like it might be enjoyable. Again, you've got your physical mission and you've got distractions, right? Noise is distracting. You've got comparing yourself to others, maybe other people in your age demographic on social media. You've got self-help podcasts, which are pumping out, the most optimized way to navigate every single data point in your life and spend thousands of pounds in doing so. You've got basically being on social media and reacting to absolutely everything that goes on in the world, all of the most up-to-date things that are going on, and spending too much time consuming information, staying in that reactive state instead of taking action. You've got biohacking, which is a term at the moment which assumes that you can just hack biology. You've got, again, optimized recovery. You've got infrared, all of this stuff that you just get sucked into. And then you've got superfoods, which is a term that people use to describe just normal food. Noise. Understand this fully. Muscle mass is required to build any physical capabilities. The more muscle mass, the greater capacity you have to develop strength, power, and speed. Most men in the gym nowadays fall into these three categories. They do not train hard enough. They do not log their training sessions. and they get bored. The combination of them three things, multiplied by multiple years, multiple decades, is the reason why they do not get any closer to their physical results with all of that time invested. So, obviously I am not your mind, but I really hope that this video can influence you. So you need a new internal bullshit meter, and doing that when you're a complete beginner is almost impossible. But I just have to emphasize, you just have to believe me, and I hope you know how passionate I am about this subject makes you think, okay, I can do this, right? Does this perceived distraction, or does this perceived method that is better than what I'm doing, does it reduce my ability to train to failure, to log my training sessions, and to maintain focus on my mission? Because most things do, and most men fall into this trap every single time. The system that I use with all my one-on-one clients that are brand new to the gym, which is most of them by the way, is always start with muscle mass development. 2 to 3 training sessions per week, because the fact that we're improving the quality of those training sessions means that they're going to need to make sure that they are recovering from these training sessions. A lot of these blokes do have 5 days per week that they can train. However, with that added intensity training to failure, they need the extra recovery. If they can only do 2, make sure that it's an upper body day and a lower body day. An upper body day means chest, back, delts. Delts are your shoulders. A lower body day is quads and hamstrings. If it's 3, they do an upper body day, a lower body day, and a full body day. For the full, they miss out delts. Upper and lower, 3 exercises per muscle group. So, for example, if that was your chest, it'd be 3 exercises for chest, 3 exercises for back, 3 exercises for quads, 3 exercises for hamstrings. On the full body days, 2 exercises per muscle group. 2 sets, max effort on everything. 6 to 10 repetitions. So it doesn't have to be strict 6 reps, it doesn't have to be strict 10 reps, but giving yourself that little bit of flexibility ensures you can always push week after week. Always aim to get more repetitions than you did last week, and be repulsed by last week's performance, because this week you are going to improve on last week's performance. Once 10 reps is achieved, up the weight slightly, and then you'll find you're back down to 6s and 7s, you're pushing to 8, 9, 10. Once you're at 10, you up the weight again. That's the system I use with my one-on-one clients. Quick knowledge drop so you can help navigate the gym. If the exercise is pushing away from you vertically, that exercise is mainly developing your shoulders. If the exercise is pushing away from you horizontally, that exercise is developing your chest. If the exercise is pulling down vertically or horizontally, that exercise is working mainly your back muscles. If the exercise has a high amount of knee bend, it is either quads or hamstrings. If the exercise has a high amount of elbow bend, it's arms. The irony of this video is more information doesn't get more results. More action gets more results. And I understand this is probably on a long list of YouTube videos for you. And if you want me to build everything out for you personally, literally build the path for you, whether you're injured, whether you are injury free, compare it to your mission and walk the path with you and support you every step of the way. That is exactly what my longevity program is for. The link is in the description to book onto a call with me if that is for you, but I'm hoping that this video is enough to get you sorted.